Okay, I just got out of the shower, that's why I look so ridiculous. Um, but here we go. So I was going to offer another Torah lesson this evening. I'm just dipping my toes in and out of the Torah and other wisdom texts I have in my arsenal of interesting books within my bedroom. I have about maybe 80 or 85 books in my bedroom at this point, which is not a staggering amount, but it's enough to keep me preoccupied for some months as I accumulate enough impressions to come up with an original text that I think will meaningfully contribute to the American literary canon within a certain number of years. So I noticed that before I touched the Torah today, I felt a kind of primal base inner tendency to want to appear clever and specifically smarter than most people. And I stopped myself from opening the Torah and I said, this is something I have to short circuit, otherwise it's going to lead me down a dark path. I was seized by the ego, in other words. It's the part of me that wants to feel like I'm better than others. It's the part of me that wants to conceive of myself as better than other people. So in order to properly learn from the Torah or any other wisdom text, I have to adopt the attitude that I'm absorbing this wisdom, firstly, not to benefit myself or to be better than others, but to become beautiful to God, if that makes sense. So, first and foremost, my objective is to become something that makes God smile, okay? And that keeps him smiling, regardless of how anyone treats me. So, over time in life, I've developed this impression. I don't adhere to any one religion at this point. I'm kind of spiritually homeless, but I have some idea that, regardless of what appears to happen to someone in the material world, God most loves the ones with the cleanest consciences, and not the biggest bank accounts, or the most expensive clothes, or even the highest IQ scores. So, think of this is a really morbid topic that I wouldn't expect you to just go down the internet rabbit hole about unless you have an absurdly strong stomach and you can safely comprehend a knowledge of extreme atrocities. But there was a Japanese architect of something called the Unit 731 program, or at least he was a leading figure within it. His name was Shido Ishii. He was certainly a brilliant individual, but despite the fact that he would have scored very well on cognitive tests, he was one of the most morally degenerate individuals in all of human history, okay? Some would say he was certainly worse than certain Nazi scientists. So, compare him, if we're just focusing on one cultural context, to like a Zen monk who loses his teeth and scores poorly on cognitive tests and doesn't hurt anyone, and is who maybe Christians would consider one of the least of God's children, due to his helpless poverty and his ongoing tendency to not flex any power over anyone or engage in any form of deception, even by accident. I have some impression that God, if he exists, most cherishes the people who keep their consciences clean and who keep their minds and their hearts fixed on kind of the highest ideals to which they can conform themselves without dying prematurely, hopefully. So I guess this is not exactly kosher in certain circles, but it would mean that chosenness is a matter of conduct alone, and it has nothing to do with your birth. Thank you for watching and have a good day, and God bless you.